Hi everybody and welcome to Gravel Union Talks, a podcast series full of inspiring stories, news and events from the world of gravel. Each month we will be talking with guests who are passionate about riding off the beaten track, adventure riding, bikepacking and gravel racing. I'm your host Carlo, and behind the microphone in Newcastle upon Tyne is Olly. He's back. You were all around. Sri Lanka was your last destination, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know. I've been extremely fortunate.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little later. As always, we have a star guest in our show. As the first signs of spring appear to be blooming outside the Gravel Union office, we thought it was the ideal time to chat about multi-day gravel riding and in particular organized ones. While many gravel riders love the individual nature of bikepacking and want to be the master of their own destinies, for some people, having someone else do the planning and take all the hassle out of it is the route they'd like to go. We've got Andrea Lodder on the show, this episode as our guest for the second time around. And she's a veteran of many different gravel riding events and tours. And we thought we'd ask her for her top tips, useful insight, and talk about her plans about 2025 too. So, before we head over to Andrea, we're going to talk about the main topic of today, Olly. What's the main topic of today?
Well, I figured, seeing as it fitted neatly with the what we're going to chat with Andrea about, we would do multi-day riding this episode. So I found 3 stories from the website that fit neatly with that. And the first one, seeing as I've been back not even a week, has got to be Sri Lanka, because it was absolutely incredible. And it's all so I did a couple of things while I was there, but one of them was to make a small film, which was they had a professional filmmaker on the trip as well, and then I made a kind of my own version of it, just to capture what you do each day. And it seems to have gone down really well with the audience. I've had really good feedback, and everybody who's watched it said that it brought back happy memories. It's made them realize how fun it was, and it showed other people a bit about what it's like, and persuades them hopefully to sign up for the next version.
Well, you saw lots of the country. I mean,
yeah,
the nice pictures of the gravel roads with palm trees and everything is really exotic. But
there's an incredible mix, because you get really high mountains in some parts, but you start off at the coast and you finish at the coast, so you get a really big mix.
Did you mingle with the locals, or? Yeah,
lots. The whole of the crew are Sri Lankan, so that's really great. So, and it's a massive event. I mean, we had, I can't remember how many vehicles, but we had coaches to ferry us around, trucks to carry the bags and all the stuff. And then a support crew. We had police motorbike outriders, we had medics, we had feed stop crew. So it's a really big event, and everybody apart from Phil, who we chatted to recently, who's the owner, everybody else is Sri Lankan.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah, it's great.
And it's a proper multi-day event. So that's the theme of the day.
6 days riding. So it fitted very neatly with
also long distances. So
some of them were big.
Over 100k.
The first day is 120, and some of them are shorter, but with more climbing, so it balances out. But yeah, it's most days it's probably 6-7 hours in the saddle.
The other article that you want to highlight is from our friends of Saddle Skedaddle. Badlands is also one of the destinations that they do.
Exactly it. So this was Badlands is the kind of southern part of Spain. It's famous for the incredible scenery. It has really interesting. I'm a geologist by background, so I get quite excited. But it's the rock formations there are incredible, and it's really amazing gravel riding. There's a big bikepacking event each year, I think held at the end of August, called Badlands. And Skedaddle wanted to do their own version of it, and it's non-competitive because it's a holiday rather than a race, but it takes in all of the best bits. And so we did a story with them, and it's one of, we should talk about this a little bit. It was the first of our premium content stories, which is slightly different to stories we normally run, in that we're trying to get the balance right. We don't want to have adverts on the site. We don't want to charge people to come to Gravel Union, but we need to also make sure we have some money coming in so that we can pay the bills and keep the lights turned on, and so
the servers running.
do a few of these stories with companies that we like and we get on with and we know really well, where it's half advert, half editorial. So it's done in the same style. It's got the same exactly the same amount of work goes into it, I suppose. So it should look beautiful. It should be a good story. It should be really interesting read. It should give you some good insight, but we get some financial benefit from it, and that's the slight tweak to normal.
In all openness, so that's and we only endorse those that we also know that are really deliver. So Sarelskadel, the friends of that's maybe we should call them friends rather than partners or sponsors.
That is true.
But as you said, the service need to be running, and everything costs money. But we make sure that all the content on our website stays absolutely free. I think it's like, how many articles do we have actually, Olly?
It'd be 1,000 soon. I think we're at 970, 980, something like that.
Should we do a small...
I'll make a noise about it when we get to 1,000.
We should do a small party with some cake.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
A good excuse for cake.
There's always an excuse for cake, but 1,000 articles would be the best excuse.
Yeah.
Last article that we want to highlight is an armchair adventure.
Yeah, this is a really good one. It's all kind of fresh because it only just finished. There's a very, really tough, demanding bikepacking event in Colombia called the Transcordilleras. And we have a lot of stories I've run from a chap called George Padrons, who's Spanish but is bilingual. And he goes each year, even though this event is brutally hard. It's massive days. It's super high altitude. It's you carry everything you need, so it's pretty tough. And each year he sent in an amazing story about it. And he's just got back from the 2025 version, so it's
high altitude, right? It's
some of it's
extra difficult.
Meters, yeah, crazy high. And they do some of the days you were going from sea level to 4,000 meters. Yeah. So he said they did one climb that was 80 kilometers long.
Man, that's brutal.
That's hard to imagine.
Yeah, so it's inspiring to read, and it's always
really
not. And I know that Jorge, he goes every year. So at the end of the article, he writes, "Well, it was really, really hard, but I will go next year as well."
Yeah.
So inspiring stories for you all to read, and also to different ways to do a multi-day event. Talking about multi-day events, we're going to talk to Andrea now. On more than one topic, but also on multi-day events. Welcome, Andrea. I would, I was starting to talk Dutch to you, but I won't. We keep it in English. Maybe you've been guest on our show previously, but maybe you could take the time to introduce yourself to the audience.
Yes, hi, good evening. I've been a guest last year for the first time. I'm Andrea. I'm from the Netherlands. I live in Germany, just across the border. 29 years old, and cycling is my hobby, my passion, my work. I can combine this with my daily work at Merida, where I work as a marketing
guru.
Let's put it that way.
Guru.
And I do everything with bikes, from gravel to road. And I've been many places. Met Olly last year in Italy. And now 1 year later
you are in Girona right now. So
yeah, I'm in Girona at this moment, doing some holiday, combining with some training for the Traka. I'm riding in 5 or 6 weeks. I'm doing the 360, so. It's quite a distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's even better then if we're going to talk to you about multi-day riding, and you're right in the middle of doing some multi-day riding at the minute. That seems pretty appropriate.
Couldn't be better.
Yeah. So it's a good combination for sure. Yeah.
When we chatted, I looked it up. It was almost exactly a year ago after we got back from doing the Terra de Pisa trail, where we had a really fun time, didn't we? It was nice looking back at the pictures of it when I was doing the research for this. But you've done plenty of other multi-day trips as well, haven't you? So we're going to talk about a range. What kind of different events have you tried so far? Because you do some of it for work, some of it you just do for fun as well. But what are the different types of multi-day ones that you've done?
Yeah, I did a few, like not the people doing the Colombia things and the really big epic ones. Haven't done those yet. Maybe in the future. I did some self-supported and also supported by others in the past 2.5 years. Been to Iceland in 2023. Yeah, it's already been 2 years ago. That was a self-supported one with a friend of mine. It was like 7 days, and we went from A to B with our tent. And as you all know, Iceland, comes up to its name. It's cold. So that was like a really epic one, just by yourselves, camping on a different spot every night, taking our own stuff on the bike, like real bikepacking stage trip. That was crazy. Recommend it to everyone for sure. And I did a supported one last year, the ride gravel, then known by you guys.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one in a bit for sure.
Yeah, and I think those two were the biggest ones, and also like the real bikepacking ones. Of course, I'm in Girona now, but it's more like a holiday combination with some training in a really cozy apartment with good food for sure, and just everything make it.
It still counts though. If you're going out riding day after day, even if you're staying somewhere nice in the evening. I mean, that's how my Sri Lanka trip was. It was nice accommodation, but you're out riding day after day after day, and it is quite different, isn't it, to just doing a ride on a Sunday with some friends, and then you go back to work during the week and you don't ride your bikes. When you first did a multi-day trip, what did you think? What did you feel the first time you did it? When you get up and oh, I'm going to ride my bike again today, and oh, I'm going to ride my bike again today.
Yeah, it's also, I think it's a mindset thing. I think my first time was in 2014 when I was still riding with a team, and we went on a training camp to Kalp where all the teams go, and there you're going there to train for like 6 or 7 days, and every day I'm waking up, I'm doing a 4 or 5 hour ride, doing some rest, eating, going to bed, do the same the next day. And I think for me that really adds up, because I can't remember, like honestly, when I went on a holiday without a bike for the last time, longer than 4 or 5 days. Because for me, holiday is the same as training. I go on holiday because I'm going to train multiple days.
Okay. And there's an odd sensation when you probably day 3 and you're a bit tired, your legs are tired, probably your bum's a bit sore. You kind of think, oh, it takes a little while to get going, doesn't it, in the morning? But assuming that everybody feels the way I do anyway. But then you get a few more days into it, and then your body goes, oh, actually, I can do this, and you suddenly realise that you can ride multiple days. But there's some big differences, aren't there? So if you were going to give people some tips on how to deal with it mentally, how to deal with it physically, what kind of things would you advise?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, everyone gets tired after like 3 or 4 days. And it's also really important to balance all the days out. On your first day, you do maybe a bigger ride because you had a rest day before, because you went on a plane or in your car or what else. And then the second or third day, you do maybe the smaller rides, maybe 3 or 4 hours, depending on what's small or big for you, of course. And of course, you feel tired. But after a few days, you realize, my body, like you said, can actually do this. It gets used to the climbing, the intense of the trainings, and I think, of course, your bum hurts a bit. But that's also listening to your body. What can you do? Do you need a rest day? And nowadays you have the apps that give you some training advice as well. And my app said today, you need a rest day. We did 3.5 hours. We did some coffee. We took it easy today, and tomorrow we're going for a bigger day.
Okay.
So it's really about balancing everything out.
Do you ride with your heart rate monitor? And
yeah, I have a power meter and a heart rate monitor.
Oh, proper training.
Yeah. So what? Because for people who haven't done multi-day rides, can you explain what happens to your heart rate? But you get in a sort of a state of mind that you like you reach a level that you can go on after after 3 or 4 days. What does it do to your heart rate?
Your heart rate gets lower after a few days because your body gets tired anyway. This trip, I met a friend together, and we ride together. At some points, I ride a bit harder, then I go back to pick her up, and then we go with the two of us. Just we go through the route again, and my heart rate is a bit lower than usual because I'm taking it easy, just getting some hours in. Now it's like an average of 125 over the day, over the 4 or 5 hours. But I think when I put in a bit more intensity in my trainings, then it gets a bit higher. But your body gets like stuck at a certain point where it says, okay, I'm tired. I can maintain this heart rate for maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hours. And that's your zone for that moment. And of course you can go over it, but you won't be able to keep that for a long time.
Yeah, I think that my experience is that when you're at the 6th or 7th day, your body tells you, okay, this is the level that we're going to have today, and I'm always surprised that it's like it's maybe 80% of what you could do on a if you would be properly rested, but it's still on a pretty high level. So. It might be an eye opener for people who haven't cycled for more than 1 or 2 or 3 days, but you will get in a sort of a state that your body tells you, okay, this is the level. Your bum tells you otherwise,
absolutely.
maybe, but you should really go with the flow and listen to what your body tells you. So
absolutely.
And then you can go on for probably much longer than you might expect. Or how do you see that? What's the longest multi-day ride that you have done?
Ooh, I think the longest one is 2 years ago in Mallorca. I was there for 14 days and I rode my bike for 14 days.
Okay.
But then on the rest days it was like 1.5, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just easy. Because for me personally, I really feel when I take a rest day and do nothing, my body gets in this rest zone, and the day after I perform like shit. When I keep up the pace and just keep on moving, my body is like, okay, we're gonna do this for a few more days, and my level stays more, how do you say it, more even. But when I take a real rest day, my body doesn't like that.
Yeah, that's what you also see in the, we shouldn't compare ourselves to people in the Tour de France, but is that a rest day, if you take a real rest day and you're just lying in your bed the entire day because you're tired, that's not the way to go. You should do something at least, get 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours in and pedal just a bit to keep keep the body. That's really, really important.
Yeah.
That's one of the things
There are some riders who do really intense trainings during the rest days to keep up the intensity instead of just doing something chill to stay sharp and everything. Some riders just do 1 hour rides. It's really it's different per person for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to your body then is perhaps a good takeaway from that.
Always, yeah. I think it's most important to stay at 75 or 80% of your top, and then you can maintain it for a really long time.
And at an event, you'll when there are more riders, you should really like the 75 group, your 75%. Don't. I think that some people want to overperform in the first days, and then they will and they will find themselves in the last bit in the 4th or 5th day because they push too hard at the first day. So it's really important to know your pace, also to have the experience to know that pace.
Yeah, for sure. There are, like you say, some people think, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna smash the first day, gonna smash the second one, and then the third day smashes them. So.
I'm probably a bit more of a Luddite in that I don't always, in fact, I don't very often even use a heart rate monitor, and I don't own a power meter or power cranks or pedals or whatever. So I do it much more on feel. And you can do it, but yours is a lot more like your scientific way of doing it. It sounds, and if your computer's giving you recommendation on how much rest you need, that's dead useful. But I have to just do it on gut feel instead.
And how do you do that then, Ollie? Because on perceived effort is like you're always on a 6 on a scale of 10 or 7 or.
Yeah, and I think it's maybe when I've done it, it's slightly different because say if I'm taking photographs or I'm trying to make a film at the same time, I'm always chasing. So I'm going either flat out to try and get in front of the riders to take photographs, and then I back off so that they come past me again, and I'm chasing them down the road. So I should think my heart rate trace probably has spikes all the time through it. So it's I'm not a typical participant in an event by any means.
But you do have the energy
really
to
good
do
interval.
But I try not to blow up, because if that's good advice about thinking, look, this is going to be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 days of riding. Don't kill yourself on the first day, otherwise you're going to be in a real state.
Yeah.
If
you're really fast.
Well, sometimes. If you're going to give someone some advice, Andrea, about preparation, so stuff they can do before they go on a big trip, what kind of things would you think about? What did you do before you went to Girona, for example? What kind of stuff did you think about?
On my own trip, it was really like, I have to carry everything on my own bike. There was no support bringing our bikes from A to B. So therefore you really have to think about, I'm going to carry all these extra weights on my bike. When does it get too heavy? What can I take? You have to bring your tent. It's heavy. You have to bring your own food because there is no food along the way, at least not where we were. Your cooking supplies, a dry kit, and that's about it. You can just take so much on your bike. So there's really like, planning. What do we need? Can we wash? What do we really not need? Like makeup. You don't need it, of course. Extra pair of shoes. You might be convenient, but do you really need it? No, you don't. So then you just walk either barefoot or just in your cycling shoes.
Okay.
So it's really like balancing, what do I really have to take? What can I miss for these next 6 or 7 days? So that's really a thing to think about when you're doing your own trip. And that's why maybe it's a better way of starting the bikepacking stuff, the multiple bikepacking days, with something supported. Just to get first into the hang of riding multiple days, instead of riding multiple days and carrying all the extra weight, because your bike will be up to 30 kilos, and that's a lot.
It's a real skill, isn't it, as well, knowing what to pack and taking out the stuff that's irrelevant, but also making sure that you don't leave something vital at home. Carlo has to take his teddy whenever he goes bikepacking. I mean, imagine if you got there and you haven't brought your teddy with you, then what are you going to do?
Yeah, for sure. You bring a rock or something, or take a rock outside.
Well, I like the piece of advice that you gave, that you're now giving, Andrea, because I think the mental balancing of, what stuff do I bring, what happens when something breaks and I need to improvise. If you do like an organized trip earlier, then you get the hang of things, and the physical part is always the challenge, and that's. Well, my personal experience is that the first time that you do like a real big multi-day event, then you're worried, can I finish? And if you've done the first, I can do this. I have this covered, and then you can go on, and then you can expand your adventures. I think that's a good tip, that you build things up and that you don't overdo. We've been on this podcast, we have. Our guests have been doing craziest things like cycling around the world on a single speed, and every adventure starts with the smaller step, and I think that's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the people who do the really crazy bikepacking stuff. I think there was this girl who went from Germany to South Africa in 1 year.
She's going to be. I don't know how you pronounce her name properly. Wiebke is how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I did. Okay, great. I got it right. Well, I've interviewed her very recently, and there's going to be a story about her on Gravel Union in the next week or so. And she rode 20,000 kilometers, so she was a great example of just going.
Yeah, that's like the hardcore stuff.
Yeah,
But you don't have to do it quite as tough as that.
Exactly,
You can find something
exactly.
easier first of all.
Yeah, and then maybe one, like a 3-day, multi-day ride for you is like the same adventure as somebody doing 20,000 k. It's like and that's what I like about the whole gravel community, and also the articles on Gravel Union is, you have to find your own adventure, and it might be this, it might be that, and if you don't overdo it, because safety is really also an important factor, of course, but. I like the armchair articles, Ollie, and I'm going like, hell no, I'm not going to do this.
But it's a real fine line, isn't it? It's got to be fun, at least in my world anyway. And I can see some days you're going to have a tough day, but if your whole trip is just a hard slog, then the fun factor is low. I don't see the fun in that.
Yeah, it's also like some people think, okay, I'm going to do a bikepacking trip, and they just do it like without any really good preps, and they do it for like maybe 5 or 6 days, and like you say, the fun factor really is low because everything is bad. The bike is too heavy, the route is too heavy. They don't see the fun in it because it's too much for too long for too soon. Just start with the overnighter. Like years ago, my first bikepacking trip was just 2 days. It's an overnighter. We went like a route of maybe 100 kilometers, all off-road, with the tent, our bags, went to a forest somewhere, put up the tent, slept there, and went back home. Just to get to know the taste of, okay, what is this bikepacking stuff? Can we cook alone? Can we put up a tent at night somewhere in a forest? How are the bags on the bike? Just start with that, and if that's okay, then do 3 days, then do 4 days. But don't start like cold turkey with a whole week or maybe 2 weeks of bikepacking if you don't know if you like it.
Yeah,
because then you're stuck with it.
Yeah, there are also all kinds of ways to get into the multi-day adventures. I've done a few credit card bikepacking trips, which is also very nice. Where you leave the tent at home and okay, there's going to be a hotel somewhere. And if you do Iceland, no, that's not an option. But many areas that like northern Italy, the Eifel, the Ardennes are really, really cool, and you can do a big ride and then
a lot to be said for a hot shower and a comfy bed, isn't there?
Yeah, there is, and everybody should what we're discussing now is like, okay, do it in your way, but also take it one step at a time, and don't try to be the hero and do a 60-day tour without the proper learning curve that you need to do, I think. So good
Should
advice,
we chat
I think.
A bit about the difference between a DIY trip and a paid trip as well, because that's one of the ways you can make your life a bit easier, is you get someone else to do some of the hard work for you. So you last year you took part in the Ride Gravel, which is one of the reasons that we're having this chat now. And the Ride Gravel is a multi-day point-to-point gravel event, but it's an organised one, so you get your luggage carried for you, you get your food prepared for you. Tell us a bit about what you thought about it. How does it work? What's it like? What are the things to kind of think about if you're considering it?
At first I thought, okay, I like to be really independent, do my own thing, decide where I want to stop, how much do I take, what do I eat. I like to do my own stuff. So I was like, okay, this is everything's organized. I just take my bike. That's it. My tent is ready. The food is ready. I just have to ride my bike, and the bags are all taken care of. So it's really like, okay, just release everything, let them do it, and just ride. And that was really, really comfy, to be honest. Yeah.
So it's a good way.
I really.
For someone that was going to do a multi-day trip for the first time, perhaps it is a good option then to do one where it's a bit more organised.
Absolutely. Yeah. At first I was like, okay, why should you do this? You can just take your own bags, but that's me. I've done this before. I know, okay, I can do this. But I spoke to a lot of people over there and also talked, okay, did you train for this? Why are you doing this? How did you get to this? And people are really training for the ride for like an entire year. to be able to ride 5 or 6 days in a row. And of course, the terrain was really so unexpected. Was really, really good. I thought, okay, it's easy because the people over here are like maybe newbies to the gravel scene. But it's really, really challenging terrain. The weather was really bad.
Yeah.
So that also made it really tricky. But also, when you get back, your tent was there. The food was ready. So you didn't have to put everything up in the rain because it was already done.
Okay.
So that was such a relief. When you are tired, wet, dirty, you want to get a shower, you want to get in your tent, and just eat and go sleep.
And you've been doing a lot of, if you do a DIY adventure, you're probably with a couple of people, and now you ride on a bigger event. You'd ride with a couple of hundred people. How did you like that? Did you? Is there like, do you connect to people? Is it everybody on his own? I mean,
I think you will find a group of people that you have the same pace with, and of course you see the same people for a whole week. And you talk to them, and you make friends. I made a friend over there that I'm still talking to, and we're doing some racing this Sunday. And I think it's really good way to go there alone as well.
Yeah.
I went there alone. I was like, okay, I never do this really alone. So let's see, do we meet someone or a group of people to chat with? But it's a really good way to connect with like-minded people. Ride together, find your fit in the gravel group over there.
and you have
I think it's a really good way to go alone.
well, there's like a big safety net with the mechanics, with the food, with the tents that been pitched for you. There's also the medics available. Everything's taken care of, and like we said earlier, I think it's a good way and a step up to the bigger adventures. And we see. Well, I think that's you're going to ride this year.
And I'm going to ride this year, so I could do.
Really?
Yeah, so,
Are you?
So I can ask your advice, Andrea, to how to get the best out of it. Because now I'm old and soft. I really love a proper bed and a hot shower. So how does camping? How does it feel if you've had a big day out on the bike and you're tired? What is it like then to have to camp instead of going to stay in a hotel somewhere?
Ooh, I think I'm
You can tell I'm getting soft.
I think I'm the worst example to ask because you can put me on a bed of rocks and I will sleep. But I think after an intense day on the bike, everything is fine. You have to bring your own sleeping bag, but the beds are really good. There's like a mattress on it. Good tents, proper tents. You can opt for the hotel option, but I don't think you will do that because you get the whole experience in a tent.
Okay.
It's also
the
way more
experience
cozy.
is a big chunk of it, isn't it? The kind of camaraderie and the team spirit. If you're going off to a hotel somewhere, then you're going to miss out on some of that.
For sure, yeah. I think the most fun parts were at night, after dinner, in the tent. You speak with people, you have a drink together, you talk about the day, you talk about the next day. And of course, when you go back to your hotel, it's comfy, but you miss I think 50% of the whole experience. What's the most fun part? Of course, with a bad weather last year, you can control that. So it was a bit of you go to your tent, you want to stay dry and warm. But when the sun is out, it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Is there any kit that I should consider taking, bearing in mind that it's going to be, it might be wet when I do it as well? Was there anything you took that you were really happy with?
Of course, a rain jacket, some proper shoe covers. Yeah, in the end, if it's raining all day, you will get wet anywhere. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, normally it is in September, early September. So we have been having rain for last year, but normally it's it could be better. But last year it was pretty nasty, especially at nights. By the way, I think during the day it was pretty okay. especially also the first days, because it was pretty slippery, wasn't it, Andrea, in Luxembourg?
Yeah, it's it. Like I said, I expected the routes to be more easy, but they were really challenging. It's a beautiful area, especially in Luxembourg. I'd never been there before last year, but it's such a different terrain from Belgium or Germany. So I really liked it. The climbs were really nice. The descents were a bit slippery, but that makes it a bit more challenging. What's also a really
it can
good
be
thing.
really fun as well, can't it? As long as it's not too dangerous, then it's fun.
And the route's going to be a little different, Olly. So
okay. Well, the mud doesn't worry me anyway.
Less challenging, especially for you, because you're getting older.
Yeah. Did you do anything to your bike setup, or if you're doing a multi-day trip, is there anything you should think about from that perspective?
The thing that when riding with bags on the bike that really surprised me in a bad way were the front bags, the panniers.
Yeah.
They catch so much wind. And when we were in Iceland, of course, the wind is like at 100% every day.
Okay.
That was so hard. Like with every blow, you will get like blown backwards instead of forwards. So that's a thing. Yeah, so that's the thing that really.
Is there a way of minimizing that? So if you had perhaps more weight at the back of the bike, do you think that would have helped, or would you still have got buffeted?
Yeah. I think it's easier also with the handling, because of course you have like 3 kilos of stuff on every side of your fork, so 6 kilos in addition to your fork.
Okay.
That's a lot to handle in the sense, for sure. And I think it's more convenient to put some more weight on the back, on the rack, like a tail fin for example. To put more weight over there than on the front. Okay. So that's something I would definitely think about when I'm going to do something like that again. Yeah.
Okay, that's good advice. I hadn't even thought about the aerodynamics or the I mean, I guess
me neither.
Perhaps that's quite specific to Iceland because it's so windy. But I guess everywhere you're going to get some wind, aren't you?
Yeah, and also like in your shoulders and your arms, because like I said, it's 6 kilos extra to handle. And after a few days, you really start to feel it in your upper body.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I should have to do some press ups before I go.
Yeah.
Do you advise to do like, because when you learn something like that on a trip, or when you're already in Iceland, did you do like a weekend with a full setup to test, or did you find this out and say, okay, next time around I'm not going to do this in this way?
Yeah, I may sound or look like someone who does everything really prepared, but I'm definitely not. I bought my racks and my bags, I think maybe 1 week prior to that trip, and I was like, okay, I need this, I need more bags so I can take more.
No test runs. You were cursing a bit in Icelandic then, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also a funny thing. I minimized everything I packed on my bike because I couldn't take any more than that. And when we went to Amsterdam, to Schiphol, to get on the plane, my bike bag was too heavy.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, okay. So I brought my bike and the stuff I have to put on my bike for 7 days, and it was still too heavy. So it cost me some extra money to get the bare minimum to Iceland.
So prior planning is do as much of it as far in advance as you can, I guess, and as the other bit of good advice.
I would advise that.
What else have you learned when you've been doing these things? Because sometimes you have to learn when stuff goes wrong. Have you had anything that's gone disastrously wrong that has been a useful lesson with hindsight, or has it all been plain sailing?
I think I have to really knock some wood somewhere, but I have never had anything major. Or no major issues during any trip or ride, or no broken bikes, no broken shifting wheels, tires, nothing.
Great.
So
well, we're going to come on trips with you in that case. Then you're obviously a good luck.
Yeah.
Olly, but you're also having you had quite some experience also as a guide. What was
Yeah.
what was the worst thing that mechanically that you ever
Actually,
encountered?
nothing happened to me, but I had Phil, who we had on our last show, who's
Yeah?
currently in Sri Lanka. He posted on social media yesterday or the day before to say that his back wheel had basically failed and lots of the spokes had pulled straight through the rim, which I've never heard. I've heard, I mean, I had a spoke snapped when I was in Nepal,
Yeah.
but just one spoke, and it broke in the middle, and it was an easy repair. But the nipples have actually pulled right through the rim, so the rim is then written off. And he was right at the top end of Sri Lanka, and he said the nearest bike shop that could fix it was 600 kilometers away.
Wow.
So then he had to get it just sounded like a nightmare to get to the opposite end of the island to try and have it repaired. So yeah, if it goes wrong, you have to think on your feet and try and come up with a plan B. He went in a tuk-tuk for it the rest of the day when it broke, so that he could get to the end safely.
Well, of course, maintenance is really important, but things like that happen.
Yeah, I think that
there's nothing to do
there's
with
not much you can do to prevent it. But
well, fingers crossed that it won't happen.
Yeah.
to
But yeah, I
us.
guess there's a few spares you could carry. I mean, I would always take a couple of spare spokes, and you make sure you've got enough tubeless sealant and all the kind of standard stuff you would do for a normal day ride. But trying to think about you're going to be potentially a bit further away from help, so you might need to be more self-sufficient.
Mechanics always tell me to bring an extra real derailleur hanger, because that's
Okay.
because
Yeah,
it's
that's
if you
good
bring
thought.
one and something happens to your real derailleur,
Yeah.
then they can fix it. And if you're somewhere, and because it's so specific to
That's true.
every bike, then
that
and
is a good piece of advice.
yeah, and the tip is also to carry it.
Yeah,
with you.
yeah. Don't bring it and then leave it in your big luggage. Bring it and make sure you've got it.
Oh,
on
I've
your
got it at
person.
home. I've got it, but I got it at home. So bring it. It's really small, tiny bit. So that's a tip that I always
Yeah, that's a good
found
one.
very, very useful. What's on your calendar, Andrea? Because you're in Girona now, and you talked about racing. What's on for the next season?
I think I have the most unplanned season in years for now. I don't have much trips planned yet. No really
I heard Traka.
big trips. Yeah, apart from the Traka, end of April, beginning of May, first weekend of May. Like I said, I'm doing the 360, so it's
That's
a big
one.
one. It's my first really big race. Of course, I did bigger rides. I did a 650 kilometer ride last year, but that was just for fun. I should call it. may call it fun. But the Traka is the first real big race. With also a lot of climbing. I'm not a climber, so that's also I'm here to go look for them already.
Okay.
I
Get some training in.
I know UCI qualifier races planned.
Yeah. This Sunday in Belgium, it's the first one in the Benelux. In Turnhout, it's the first race. It's 144 kilometers. It's flat as a pancake, so it should suit me well. I'm training for a few weeks, months already for the Traka, so I hope I'm in a good condition. Then I'm doing Valkenburg as well. There's also a bit more climbing, and then maybe in Aachen in Germany, and perhaps in Roden in Drenthe in the Netherlands as well.
Okay, you're doing
Great.
the whole Benelux, and Aachen is so close by to the Netherlands. That's just it's like a day trip. Well, talking about the qualifiers, well, we hope to have news next week or maybe this week, because UCI just I think that there are 6 options where the world's because Nice is off now.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
It wasn't that long ago, was it? We talked to Owen.
Yeah. We should give him a call this week, Olly, just to find out where it is. Because
don't think he's going to give us a scoop somehow, but you never know.
Now I know that there are 6 options, and Valkenburg is also on the list, but there are also some other options, and I always. I learned that the political ways of the UCI are, I don't know where it's gonna be, but it could be. Well, it's somewhere else. It's going to be on the European mainland, I think.
Okay.
The options that I saw: Portugal, I saw the Netherlands, I saw Austria, Switzerland, I think. So let's wait and see. But if you're going to qualify, Andrea, then it would be nice if you can do the Worlds somewhere in the area. And not had Nice is a nice place to go, by the way. Not last week, because did you see the weather in Paris, Nice? It was like awful. It was really, really awful.
Bad.
It's
really bad.
It's really bad.
Looking further ahead, have you got any bucket list things that you want to do? Maybe not this year, but next year or in the future. Any kind of big trips? So, for example, I was in Nepal in February, and is that something you'd be interested in, or do you want to go somewhere more wild?
Well, yeah, I've never been like out of Europe for the big trips. Apart from, of course, Iceland is not Europe, but like really, really far away. I don't really have a bucket list in life in general on anything.
Okay.
I just look wherever my bike takes me. Sounds a bit woozy, but maybe this year I go there, and maybe the next year I go I don't know where. But of course, Nepal and Sri Lanka. Those are destinations are crazy, of course. And riding there is I think a dream for every cyclist. Because it's so much different from what we are used to in the Benelux or in this part of Europe, where everything is convenient. You go to a village to get some water or some food, but I can imagine in the places you've been recently, you really have to take care of yourself. You go to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Certainly bits in Nepal is super remote when you whole day's ride from the nearest village, and then you have to make sure you've done the planning, or you've gone with someone that's done the planning for you.
That sounds really cool. So if the opportunity ever comes by, I would definitely do it. But there's no really like a bucket list thing that I really have to go there.
So serendipity.
I'll see.
That's it. It's a good way of, because if you make your life too mapped out, it takes some of the fun out of it. So I like the way of thinking of just seeing what happens.
Yeah. Go with the flow.
Yeah, if you have too much expectations, it can only be bad in the end. So no expectations, no disappointments.
There's another life lesson that we'll have here, Olly. So thank you very much,
exactly.
Andrea.
She's very good as a Zen master.
She is a guru.
Yeah. Maybe I'm a gravel guru.
A gravel guru, exactly.
Yeah, also for the truck and for the UCI qualifiers, I don't really have an expectation, just to have fun and see where I land. And if it's good, it's good. And if it's not good, I'm going to be satisfied anyway, because I feel good. So, yeah.
Even a lot of the time, just taking part is the whole part of doing it, isn't it? If there's only very few people are ever going to be racing for the podium. Yeah,
there are only 3 people, three spots on the podium. And there will be more people not on the podium than there will be on the podium. So if you only aim for the podium, you will be a disappointment more times than be happy with your outcome. So the fun is the most important part of everything. So let's keep that up.
Yeah, that's another piece of excellent advice. It's like have fun out there, because it's the most important thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we've got through all of our.
It's our famous last question.
I think it must be.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So we've probably asked you this already, but you have to come up with a different answer this time. That we're going to put you on a desert island somewhere, and you can only take one type of bike with you. What would it be and why?
I think last time it was my gravel bike. That one is already taken now, so I think it
tricycle.
Will be,
maybe a tricycle.
I think it will be a mountain bike then. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different island.
I don't like mountain biking.
I guess if you took a cross-country bike, it's not that different from a gravel bike, is it? And the gravel bikes are going that way.
Yeah, a cross-country will do, I think. Yeah.
Great.
What's your, because you have a monster bike, Olly?
Yeah, which I took to Nepal with me because I knew it was going to be quite challenging. So that's kind of a half and half. So it takes really big tires. It will probably fit 2.4, 29 by 2.4 tires.
Wow.
But it's got rigid forks and a drop bar. So it really is a mashup. But it was the perfect bike in Nepal. But if I was going to be racing in Valkenburg, it wouldn't be the right bike. So it's.
Now you need there's some uphill riding, steep hills. So we also do the cave. If you're going to ride Valkenburg, you're also going to ride just straight through the cave. So through the Kouberg, actually. But that's
Great.
another...
Are you going to race in Valkenburg, Olly?
Yes, he is.
No, unfortunately not this year.
No, he's not. That's a
next
pity.
year.
Because we're going to see each other in Valkenburg, Andrea. We Dutchies.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah.
you know you're invited, Olly.
Thank you.
But you have other plans, I know. So, that
think
was... excuse me?
I've just got to balance
Yeah,
how
I know,
much
I know,
I'm
I know.
away because I've
You,
been
g-
very lucky recently. So
Yeah, and Valkenburg sounds less exotic than Nepal or Sri Lanka, I have to admit. Okay, well, thank you very much, Andrea. Then...
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
and have a great stay and good training in Girona.
Yeah, just a few days to go, but
Okay.
will be good.
fingers crossed for some more sunshine for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us on this month's edition of Gravel Union Talks. If you have any suggestions for guests or topics you would like us to feature in future shows, then please post a comment on our Facebook page or Instagram. DM Olly and you get through to him, and then he will get back to you. Or send an email, info@gravelunion.cc might be even the easiest way. And we try to fit it in our schedule. Please like and star us on your favorite podcast platform and make sure to leave some hopefully positive remarks. Don't forget, if you like what you've heard in this episode, there's loads more great stories, features, news pieces and all the latest gravel event information over on the gravelunion.cc website. Special thanks for Martijn for designing our very own music, and obviously also Ruben for editing the show, and special warm thank you to all you listeners, because we have plenty of listeners. We're happy with that, and I hope to see you again, or hear you again, or at least hear us again on the next episode of Gravel Union Talks. Everybody, cheers! Thanks, Andrea, again, and Olly. You stay in Newcastle for a bit now, right?
I will do.
Okay. Cheers. Bye bye.